Welcome to Laugh and Learn. I'm TarotStache here with Jennifer from My Holistic Self. And today we're exploring human design cognition, your built-in super sense. I'm
Yes.
glad to have everyone here. These conversations continue because people who are watching ask questions, they're thoughtful. I write them down. We talk about it after the show. Oftentimes it's like, ooh, that could be really fun. We could do that. This could be great. So I want to say thank you to everyone watching. Thank you very, very much. And all of Jennifer's links are below because hashtag overachiever. Hi, my name is Gerald TarotStache. That'll always be. and and I'm perfectly fine with it. So, and we're continuing our conversation. I want to pause and just check in with Jennifer. How are things going?
Things are going well.
Yes.
They are going well. Thank you. Yeah, it's been wild, and it blows me away that we are in December now. I think between just time going so quickly and all of the energies that we've been going through that are moving us in a multitude of directions, it's just it's flying. Time is
Yes.
flying by.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. With all of this energy going on in the
Mhm.
world, stuff happens. Is there something that if people know their human design, what might they lean into? Is that like, Gerald, that's like the hugest question. That's a whole dang show.
It could be its own show, but very much what we've spoken about with human design already. Knowing our design helps us to know our strategy. It helps us to know our authority. It helps us to know our circuitry and how we connect, and what helps us to feel grounded, how we make decisions, the things that are going to help us to navigate all of the energies and to know when we need to rest, what we need to do, how we need to rest, how we need to take care of ourselves to recharge. All of that is a part of this
Yes.
personal health system, or primary health system, as it's called in human design. It's about knowing the right environments for us, the ways that we are able to digest food and information. All of these things are here to help us to be able to operate in this world.
Correct. And when we know about these things, it gives us the tools and the ability to use them to help us stay balanced.
Mhm.
We may know them, it is still possible to ignore them.
Absolutely.
We get to be adults. We get to be adults.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really fascinating when you think about it, because I know we've talked about the primary health system already, and we talked about determination, environment. And when you really like break it down, at its base, the primary health system is here to explain how our body functions optimally, right?
Mhm.
So it talks about what our brain needs, our nervous system, digestion, and perception, and how we can operate correctly with those. And so within the personal health system, cognition that we're talking about today is the sensory intelligence that our body uses to recognize what's true or what's correct for us.
Mhm.
And so let's build on it for a minute. So determination, which is how our body best takes in fuel, whether that's food or information or whatever it is.
Mhm.
If we're not operating correctly there, the rest of it struggles, right? And so then we have environment, and it's where our body processes life the best.
Mhm.
So it's how and where, and then we get to cognition, and cognition is the sense that becomes sharper when those first two, the environment and determination, are correct.
Yes.
So as much as, we can shift our environment, we can work on honoring our determination. Cognition is something that we don't develop, if you will, right? It will emerge when our body is aligned.
Ah, okay.
Right? It's like I don't know, you can think about it like a signal becoming clear once a radio is tuned properly and the static is gone. It's that kind of idea that our cognition comes through when all these other things are aligned.
Mm-hmm. I'm writing that down because that's insightful. I oftentimes do that when I am with you. I also want to remind everybody to please like and subscribe because it is free. This is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really? We have a couple of chatters here. Kim Princess is here. Kim, thank you for the email you sent. We have Pamela Batchelor is here. Hello, Pamela. Hypnicity. Nalani.
Hi, ethnicity.
It's great to have people here. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So let's get to the basic. What is cognition? You've said it, but let's say it again so everybody can follow along.
Yeah, cognition is our strongest sense. So if you think about the way it shows up, I think the way I said it was sensory intelligence, right? It's the sense that our body uses to identify if something is correct for us or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Sensory intelligence.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
again, we're bringing in, the determination, how that works, and cognition. So if we were to kind of bring that together, because really, like I said, we need to have the others in alignment for cognition to really come forward.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got determination, which is our digestion style. So this is the correct way that our brain and our body takes in food and information. So if this is off, the body is busy compensating and cognition is going to become muffled.
Okay.
Okay? So when we digest correctly, our nervous system is able to calm down. We stop wasting energy, and then our body begins to function efficiently rather than defensively. And this is where cognition comes in. Right?
Mm.
When our body's stable, our strongest sense becomes heightened. Right? So now we have this internal compass that's able to, tell us what is nourishing us or draining us, who feels safe or unsafe, what
Mm-hmm.
opportunities are correct or not correct, timing, alignments, all of those kinds of things. This particular sense, whatever it is for you, is going to light up when it's your truth. But if we're not, if our determination and our environment are out of alignment, we're so busy compensating for that
Yes.
cognition doesn't get the opportunity to come online.
Is it like the Maslow's principles where you've got to take care of these basic needs before this cognition can, is it always there, but we just don't recognize it because we're not lined up?
It's always there.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and even with Maslow, I mean, you think about the studies that are done, even say with the homeless population, where basic needs are not there, and yet they're very altruistic. There's a lot of opportunity for things. So I think that there is a component here that we need to recognize. Like, we always have access to all of it, but it's about how much gets in the way and how much we have to filter. And do we really want to put in that much effort to do it?
I'm letting that sit there, That's a powerful thing with so much going on in our world, our environments, our education system, spiritual support, basic needs. That's a really powerful point in the sense of yeah, okay. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, our cognition is always there,
yes.
right?
Yes.
We don't, it's not like, we suddenly go out and find it in a box buried in the backyard when everything else is in alignment. It's not in that way that we have this like map that has to take us there. It really is just that within ourselves. And, we talk about this on so many levels. And we've talked about it before, Gerald, in the sense that all of the conditioning and all of the stuff kind of covers over things that we already know. So even in the very broadest sense of human design, where we talk about it giving us permission to be who we already knew we were,
Yes.
it's the same kind of idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
When everything else is in alignment, it's like, oh, okay, this is just flowing. I understand it. It connects easier. Doesn't mean it wasn't there to begin with. It's just our access to it is fuzzy.
Yes, I like that. We Little Zen Crone Jilly is joining us whilst working. I love the fact that
Mhm.
she used the word whilst.
I love it.
Haley is work lurking. River Mist Faye is here.
Hello.
Nalani has said, "This may sound weird, but my cognition seems to mirror my nutrition." That
Ah,
doesn't sound weird at all. It makes sense. It completely lines up with what's being said.
absolutely. Because if our nutrition, if our digestion determination in human design is not in alignment, accessing cognition is really hard.
Hmm. Yes. And
Hmm.
Kim Princess said, "I agree with you, Jennifer. It's all about how much we are willing to let in."
Mm. Hmm.
It's a very good point. Ascending Universal Butterfly is here. Thank you for joining
Hello.
us. I I think it is about how much we choose to let in. December gets to be a struggle time for a lot of people with many different family obligations, financial obligations, the stresses of home and work. Uh, and this is, I'm glad we're talking about this now.
Yeah.
If people want to get their chart done, it's free. Links are in the description. Last time we were together for my birthday, Jennifer gave me a reading on my human design, which was freaking awesome. And so, but you also, I the human design stuff, it's a lot to take in. Get support. Jennifer's able to help you with that. And but I also want to say, don't make it more challenging than it needs to be. Look at it and you go, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Then bask in that glow of, oh, that makes sense for a
Yeah.
bit. Hello, Shim.
It's interesting. Ra talks about 7 years of deconditioning once you learn that human design even exists, right? So it's a process. Whether you actually need to take the 7 years or not, I think depends so much on many things and how vested you are in really wanting to be in alignment and all of that kind of stuff. But all of that to say, it does take time, and that's okay. It's meant to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he calls it the human design experiment because we're meant to play with it. We are meant to try it out. We are meant to go, oh, that makes sense. Just as you said, Gerald. And then to sit with that and
Mm-hmm.
see, Oh, look, I honored my authority here, and look what happened. Oh, I didn't honor it there. Look what happened. Okay,
Yes.
let me play with this a little bit and see. And then it becomes more natural for us to move into that alignment because we see that it works.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm trying to figure out where to go next with this. Uh, um, I, are there different cognition types?
As with all of them, 1 through 6. So we will
What?
only, we've got 6.
Mhm.
So we could go through them if you want.
Yeah, let's do that. And if we can go through them and talk about how we might recognize them, what that might look like in action.
Mm-hmm. So if you pull your chart, just as if anybody's going, where's my cognition?
By the
If you
way, Ghost Links, Jennifer, how can I book an appointment for a body graph reading?
Awesome. If you're on my website, you can just do the contact me page and send me an email, or you can email me directly, jennifer@myholisticself.com. And we can book one through that, coordinate when works, and go from there.
Thank you for asking. Thank you for answering that question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have 6 different types, of course, it's in
Mm-hmm.
6s.
Yeah, everything is in 6s.
Mhm.
And so the cognitions, there's 1 is smell, 2 is taste, 3 is outer vision, 4 is inner vision, 5 is feeling, and 6 is touch.
Mhm.
And just like, everything else, there is that split between the 1 and 3 and the 4 and 6.
Yes.
And so, what I was going to say too is if you do have your chart, not all charts are going to have all of the details of the personal health system in the body graph itself.
Mhm.
So you want to look at the part where it has the writing on the other side, and you just go down that list and you'll see cognition, and that's where you want to find it. So I can share screen if you want,
If you
uh,
want, if
but that's just so that you know where to find it.
yes.
Is really um, what I want to make sure of. And so when we're going through the different cognitions, and again, like you guys know me, I can geek out on this and go deep dive into
I
all
love
of
it
it.
when you geek out. And
How much of that um, is, matters, I think really depends on each person because I'm a 1-3. That one line of mine deep dives wildly into things. Not everybody wants the deep dive. So
Mhm.
I get that as well. Um,
I'm trying to find it on I have several versions of my chart because I keep everything.
mhm.
I'm just trying to locate it. But keep talking. If you want to share, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
This
So
gives
on yours, Gerald,
like,
it's going to
yeah.
say design sense.
Oh,
So
design sense. Okay.
let me just share my screen so that you guys can see it.
Yes.
I don't want to spend a ton of time on where to find it,
Mhm.
but I do want you to be able to know what you're looking at. So here we go. Again, I'm on the My Holistic Self site. We go to additional services, human design coaching, and you'll have a section where you can input your birth information. And then this is what's going to pop up on the screen. You're going to see the body graph, and then you're going to get all of the actual information. And so when you're scrolling through the information here, you're going to get to design sense. And this word here is what we're talking about today.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
put us back.
There you go.
Yes, and you're right. The real deep dive is when you live the experiment.
Absolutely.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Absolutely. It's pretty incredible when you start to experiment with it. And I like to say play with it. That's my 3 line. But
Mhm.
the more that we allow ourselves to experiment and to play, the more we get to see when we're out of alignment versus when we are.
Mhm.
We talk about becoming the observer, right? We had that talk, really
Yes.
observing what's getting triggered within me. Is this coming from something that's actually a part of my programming, or is this coming from something that has been conditioned in me? How I
Yes.
navigate those two things is very different,
Mhm.
right? If it's a not self, then I need to work on how do I remove that so that I'm not carrying that anymore. If it's a shadow, how do I embrace that so that I can bring my genius forward with it?
Mhm. The first one is smell cognition.
Yes.
Do you want to say a couple of things about that, and then we can do all 5? Then we can do the rest of the 5.
Sure. Did you do any little like snippets? Because I know you've done that in the past.
I have. Well, I've only done things like smell cognition. I know through scent and subtle atmosphere, if something smells off, I listen.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. So the way that Bra talks about this is that smell picks up the chemical truth, right? So the attraction, the danger, the health of something, it's it's the ability to know instantly if something or someone is off,
Uh huh.
right? So like the comments of, oh, that smells fishy or something smells off here, right? It really comes from those who have this cognition. And so environments and people need to smell right. And it's not like literally you have to go up and sniff them.
Mhm.
It's more about like being able to scent the vibe, if you will.
Yeah, I like that the smell is with the chemical
Hmm.
aspect of it. That I find really interesting. So,
Hmm.
okay.
Well, and each one deals with another area. So 1 and 2 are in the splenic binary. And so it's about concentrated energy. So smell and taste.
Hmm.
And smell is connected to security, right? Is this safe for me or not? And
Yes.
taste is connected to certainty. And so you see, like, as we move through, they're going to be connected to different energies as well because they are on the left, like, so the arrow left facing versus right facing. We know that it's going to be much more focused, right? Whereas right is more peripheral. So like there's all of these components to it. It's not just, okay, I'm going to sniff this out,
Right.
although that is a piece of it.
Hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then after smell, we have taste,
Mm-hmm.
which I have here. I know through sampling and preference. My yes or no shows up as this is my flavor or this is not my flavor.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. And that's it, right? The taste is going to be able to notice the subtle differences and patterns. And so taste is going to look for consistency, rhythm, and as you said, like familiar energetic flavors, if you will. So being able to sense what is right or wrong through the feeling of taste is aligned or taste is sour. So again, it's not specifically, I have to put it in my mouth
Yeah.
to know how it tastes. It very much is, does the taste of this align for me, or does it kind of make you go, right? That,
Well, does it leave a bad taste in my mouth?
yeah.
Is how Delphi has come in, and hello, my queen. Boom. So, um, yeah. So after taste, then we have this is where we get a little weird. Outer vision.
Mm-hmm.
What I have for this is I know through what I see in the outer world. My decisions click when my visual field feels clear and aligned.
Mm-hmm.
It's that idea of I can see clearly now.
Yes.
I mean, and by the way, if we're saying something and it makes you think of a song or a saying,
That's what I'm like. I'm seeing. There's been a few
please tell us. Please. I love that.
sing. It's good.
Yes, I think that's great.
Yeah. Well, an outer vision has to do with action. So the visions, the outer and the inner, which is 4, are part of the ajna binary. So again, we're looking at the centers that they're connected to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so these ones have to do, again, these ones are tonal, right? So they're very connected to sound and all of that as well. And so here for outer vision, it's about seeing correctness, right, through visual clarity. So it's aesthetics, it's order, it's um, looking at something and noticing the visuals. Do they feel aligned or not? So the lighting, the color, the arrangement. If things feel out of alignment, you might actually feel your body shutting down.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay.
Right. And so inspiration, understanding, correctness, it's coming through what you see. So if you walk into a space and it's too bright or overwhelming, or the colors are really off putting, immediately there's going to be a visceral reaction that's going,
Mm,
oh, no.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This won't do. We've got to sit. We can't sit here. We need to go somewhere else where the lighting is better. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. And as you work with it, and maybe we can come back through all of them and do like some tips and tricks, right? For
Mm-hmm.
working with them.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea here is to really pay attention to the visual stimuli that is happening in your environment and in people around you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Kim Princess shared, when colors are off putting, I feel the need to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And so let's talk about inner vision. What I have for inner vision, I know through inner images and imagination. My guidance appears as inner pictures, dreams, and inner movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of
So for all of you daydreamers out there,
and
if inner
others.
vision,
Mhm.
yeah, if that's your cognition, then that's how you're meant to see things. So it's seeing things in the mind's eye, whether it's images, symbolism, whatever it is that shows up. And so decisions and clarity come through that inner imagery rather than through the logic. So think of it as visual intuitiveness, if you will,
Mhm.
right? So it's, that ability to daydream, to think things through in the sense that you're not logically planning step 1, step 2, step 3, but visionary planning of being able to kind of see that. Again, remember, this is that right facing, the bigger picture, not all of the finite details, but really being able to go, oh, okay, I see this, idea of what I want or what that looks like, and then being able to bring that forward.
That's really powerful. And this is where I've said this before on other channels, on other shows, the importance of allowing children to stare off into space.
Mm-hmm.
That may be their inner vision and how they're taking and understanding the world. It is so important to allow kids to develop and to explore in creativity. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But okay, so we had inner vision. Now we have feeling. Let's feeling. I know through subtle energetic feels in my body. My body picks up small shifts in people, places, and timing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
So feeling cognition.
Okay.
And it's an extreme sensitivity almost to like the electromagnetic or emotional fields.
Oh,
So it like the way I explain it or the way it feels for me is like I can feel the air change, right? The moment that there is a shift, if somebody's not telling the truth around different people or decisions, there's this moment of, oh, something just changed, right? And it can become overwhelming in chaotic spaces. And I notice this with myself. Like if I go into a mall or I go into anything that's really busy, and I know we've talked about this a bit before in other ways, but I need to go with somebody whose energy I can focus on,
oh yes.
right? Because if I don't, the chaos of all of the changes that are happening is way too overwhelming,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So, for this energy, I really, it's so funny, like this idea of thriving in like soft and clean environments. I go into a space and if it is a mess, my whole body reacts.
Okay. That makes sense. Kim Princess said, I used to stare off into space as a child and was told that is bad for you and not to do it. Terrible advice. Terrible advice. Unless you had something that you absolutely needed to do. So,
Hmm.
and Ascending Universal Butterfly said, I hear people quite often say they can literally smell fear.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because there was an experiment. I'm going to digress for a minute because I like to get
Please,
sentences.
please.
Um, but there was an experiment that was done where it was about, it's a little gross, but smelling sweat. And so what they did is they had a whole bunch of people run on a treadmill and they collected their sweatshirts or something like that in order to have that sweat. And then they had people who, I think they did skydiving, and they collected their clothes. And what they did is they had different groups of people smelling these. And in the groups of people who smelled the ones who did the skydiving, they actually had a fear response happen within their body.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
That's
So
fascinating.
we transmit so much that we are unaware of.
Hmm. Oh, absolutely. We have a question. What is the variable related to the mess thing? I couldn't catch that. That's the feeling.
Yeah, feeling.
Um,
Yeah, feeling. Because with feeling, it is the feeling in the energy in the space,
mhm.
right? So that sensitivity, if you go into a space and it's chaotic, it can feel overwhelming. That's really what it comes down to. And so when I say clean, it's not like the floor has to be vacuumed or everything has to be dusted. It's more about, is the space chaotic or not?
Yes.
Right? Like as an example, my office, I know you guys only get to see this little like bit, but my office is like the inside of a gypsy wagon. Okay. To some people, that would maybe seem chaotic, but everything has a place.
That's the I think that's an important thing about that because the it has to feel like it belongs where it is and not just randomly thrown about. That's chaos. And what you're saying is an aesthetic choice. And if I asked Jennifer to find something, she would know exactly where it is.
Yeah, except for some of the books sometimes. But yes, otherwise, just because there's a lot of books, but they are organized in sections, and sometimes my eldest comes in and steals one, so I don't always know.
Oh, your eldest is stealing one of your books. That's a horrible problem to
Oh,
have.
I know. but it is that piece. And so for me, when it feels chaotic is if I've pulled out a ton of books and I haven't put them away, or if somebody comes and just drops stuff in my office. It's those kinds of things that feel more off-putting. It's not about the stuff itself.
Mm. We have a follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
Can it possibly heighten transference if the person with feeling in PHS lives in an environment is too chaotic?
Yeah. So as we were saying earlier, our digestion and our environment are kind of like prereqs to get organized and in place in order for cognition to come out properly within our system. And what you're talking about with transference, if you're talking about it in the human design sense, what Ra talks about is how sometimes we will actually have transference in the different areas. So in this case, we're talking about cognition, but it could happen in any of them. And the way the transference works is you think about it as parallels. So you've got the 1 through 3, and then you've got the 4 through 6. And so it's about which one's parallel. So 1 and 4 can often have transference where they are feeling like they need the opposite as opposed to the one that they actually need. Same with 2 and 5, and then again with 3 and 6. So if you're going, well, I am smell, but for, I feel really like I connect with inner vision, I would look at that and go, okay, what's going on there that's causing that transference to show up?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because that's not the design mechanism for you. And so what's really interesting, if we were going to deep dive into this, is that when we are operating in transference, or in the shadow chart, it's often about that misalignment, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is something going on, either who I'm with. People can often bring transference out within us, where it shifts, our motivation, or it shifts how we, how we digest whatever we're doing. If other people are triggering that within us, that's a sign of misalignment.
So don't confuse misalignment with transference.
So yeah,
That's
I mean, again,
oh, sorry. So I know it's quite right.
we're going a lot pretty deep into this, but I think it's important. So if what you're noticing is that you often feel connected to like whatever that transference state is, as opposed to the one that's yours, I would say, okay, can we look at what's going on in the rest of your experience that is causing that to happen? Because there's probably something out of alignment that is causing you to go for whatever the transferred state is, as opposed to what is naturally in your design.
It's an opportunity to become the observer and notice that we're not in our natural cognition. We flipped. That's an indication something is going on and we can pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
And with a licensed professional, which I am not, can point that out and also make suggestions on where to notice.
Yeah.
It's a thoughtful question. Thank you. And a very thorough answer. I think that's great. Okay, so we did feeling. Now we're talking about touch. What I have, and I am touch. I know through contact and physical sensation. I need touch, move, or I need to touch, move, or physically be with something to know it. Hands down, abso-freak. Yeah, look at me. Hands down. That is so true. That is very, very true. It's like when I am doing quilting or art stuff, my hands need to move and to do it in
Mhm.
order for me to experience it fully.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is that learning by doing, by feeling. It's the physical interaction with it,
Yes.
because that tactile engagement is how you learn if you trust something or not.
Mm, it's a very good point. I, I also like that it's the way to learn something. I like to be in a space with someone when I'm doing readings for them. I can't be in a space with people, but if people were to contact me for private one-on-one readings, that helps me in the
Mhm.
sense, especially when I'm shuffling and pulling cards for them, that gives me a sense of that connection.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder, because so much is done virtually, how that impacts that for you. But knowing, say people by the quality of their presence, right? So you might not necessarily be able to handshake, but even just the proximity of how you feel with being in this, space. Like, do I feel like I can get my hands around this? Like, do I feel like I can hold on to what's being said?
And I think part of my touch, I write things down that
Mm,
activates that. So it very well could be, especially because online, let me tell you, going virtual um, practically broke me because I'm going stir crazy. Hardcore
mm.
extrovert with touch cognition. Huh.
Right? I need to get my hands on something.
Yes, yes, exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
Shall we go through these six again with some suggestions,
Sure.
um, or tips and tricks?
Yeah.
And so we're going to start again with smell.
Mhm.
What's some tips and tricks?
Okay, so with smell, um, you know, this is going to sound funny, but like think about like how dogs interact, right? Like they move when they're unsure, they move really slowly towards
Mhm.
something. They take their time, they notice what's going on inside of them. Do I feel safe? Do I not feel safe?
Oh, that's a good point.
Mm. And this is so neat because scent changes as we move closer or farther from something. And so the more slowly you take an approach to something, whether it's a place, a person, a meal, whatever it is, if you can pay attention to how scent changes, does this make my body relax? Does this make my body contract?
Hmm.
Right? What's going on? Because that's going to tell you if this feels aligned or misaligned for you.
That is so, so interesting. I like the visual about the dogs. You can tell also visually what happens with their bodies when
Mhm.
the smell is off.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's why, this is just Gerald. This is when I go into an environment with a dog that I have not met or a dog that I haven't seen in a while, I stand there and don't move and just relax, talk to my host and say, I'm just making sure they know I'm fine and
Mm.
that it's all good. And it's
Yeah.
usually within a minute, 2 minutes, it's fine. Cats will, cats are cats. Love a cat. They will ignore you until they want something, and then they will pester you until they can ignore you after you've given it to them.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. But dogs are pretty good if you know what to look for in broadcasting how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate that slowness piece. And so I'm not comparing anybody to a dog, but I think that they give a beautiful example in so many ways of presence, of unconditional love, of all of the wonderful things. But in this case, that idea of just taking your time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Take your time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Then we have touch, or no, taste. Sorry, we have
Mm-hmm.
taste.
Yeah, and so taste is about, it's interesting. If you could create like daily practices, rhythms, things that feel good to do regularly, and then notice what disrupts that internal flavor,
Hmm.
right? So again, because this is about uncertainty, we need to bring in some certainty, right? These are some consistent things that feel good for me, and then that taste good to me, right? And then when something comes in and shifts that, notice, okay, what just disrupted that internal flavor for me? And then you can do a check when it comes to decisions. Does this feel energetically sweet or sour? And if you like sour versus sweet, or sweet versus sour, but however that aligns for you, right? The idea is, does this taste good to me or does this not taste good to me? Energetically, right? We're talking about energetic taste here.
That's really interesting, because I'm wondering if would this be something, and again, this is just for entertainment purposes only. If someone knows they're going into an environment that makes them uncomfortable, would like a mint or something like that that makes them feel more comfortable be of assistance, just to help them level out a bit?
Maybe. I think it's important that we don't force ourselves to do a whole lot of things that we don't feel comfortable
No.
with. But if you have no choice, right? Like, I have to go do this. I mean, it kind of would make sense. And you think about it, like, does this thing give me a bad taste in my mouth? Or does this thing make me salivate?
Yes.
Right? It is that kind of difference. And so if there is something that is putting a bad taste in your mouth, doing something like that, having a sweet, a candy, a mint, whatever it is, might actually help you to navigate through it.
That's the best word. Could it also help you when you remove yourself from that situation, to help you find your balance again?
Yeah.
And again, for entertainment purposes only. Um,
And
Go ahead.
again, I mean, you think about it, like smell, right? Smell is ones in human design are the most primitive. It doesn't mean you're primitive. It just means that that's the area that you're in. But if you think about it, smell is the quickest way to bring us back to a memory. It is the quickest way to calm our nervous system. It, like, smell is so potent for everybody, whether this is your cognition or not.
Yes.
So if this is your cognition, right, everything is going to be based on that.
Yes. Yeah. It's a very good point. Kim did say, when I walk into a space, and the owner says my cat doesn't like anyone, they always come up to me and rub on me. Well, of course
Oh,
they do. And I think it's Stephen. I don't remember if I have that right. Is uh, tone 6. I just thought it was the undefined solar plexus openness that made me pick up on everyone's emotions, but now I see that tone 6 is tied to the solar plexus.
yeah. Yeah. 5 and 6 are both to the solar plexus. 5 is on the judgment side, where 6 is acceptance, but they're both connected to the solar plexus.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how it is for people who can't smell. and we're born without a sense of smell. They don't know smell per se.
Well, I hope that smell isn't their cognition. That being said, right, we're using the senses here, but everything is also energetic,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
So we might get, I don't know, the whiff of something. And it doesn't necessarily mean that there is a specific smell actually associated with it,
Yes.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that would be, potentially really hard if we're using smell to try to help,
Yeah.
and or if that's our cognition.
So outer vision, what's a tip and a trick for that?
Yeah. So adjust. Adjust your lighting, adjust your decor, notice what what's going on around you. Notice where you want to focus. And see, like, where's my eye naturally drawn? Does that feel good for me? Does that feel off-putting for me? And see how your energy shifts when you make those changes. And I know that you can't walk into a store and be like, hey, turn your lights down. But having, a couple different shades of sunglasses, things that you could, use to kind of change, how things are being seen. Another really fascinating thing is there was a study done a while back, and it talked about different colored lenses and how different people operate better with different colored lenses. And
Mm-hmm.
so even working with people with, ADHD and things like that, having, blue lenses versus having, it's a really interesting thing to see that sometimes those kinds of things can help us in navigating the external world.
I love that. I like that a lot. So then we have inner vision.
Hmm. Yeah.
What's the
So
tip and trick?
when you have to make a decision, close your eyes,
Oh,
take a breath, and then, notice what image appears when I imagine moving towards this choice.
nice. Very nice. I like that a lot, actually, obviously. What about feeling? This is yours, correct?
Yeah. This is mine, and it's, paying attention to temperature, tingles. I notice every time my body like tingles or lights up or moves, or where I feel pressure or tension. Really noticing energetic shifts when people enter a room, or I give this example with clients when they want to start testing out their own kind of sense of clairs. And especially when we're highly sensitive, it'll show up in different ways for each person. But noticing what shifts if you go to, say, a grocery store. And I'll tell clients, notice how you feel before you leave your house. Notice how you feel when you're on your way. Notice how you feel when you get to the parking lot.
Yes.
Right? When you park, when you get out of your car, like each step of the way, noticing what's going on. And so if you were to do this with whatever your cognition is, right? Noticing the change in smell, noticing the taste that you get in that moment, right? But using whatever your cognition is, in this case, for me, it would be the feelings that are happening inside of me, the
Yeah.
sensations that are showing up.
I like how you said when you go to a mall, you go with someone whose energy uh, that helps to anchor you. You can pay attention to them. That's
Mhm.
a smart choice. That's a very smart choice. Jilly did share sacred pause. Just saying that
Yes.
idea of the inner vision. Speaking of the sacred pause, in a couple of weeks, Jilly Little Zen Crone is coming on for a Laugh and Learn where we are talking about the sacred pause.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Mhm.
Especially, oh, yeah, okay. Solar plexus smiles or screams, especially in crowded, populated areas, and sometimes can be draining.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. And so in human design with the solar plexus, and you guys can go back through the Laugh and Learns, we really talk about this, but whether it's defined or undefined, there's emotional waves associated with that and what that looks like. And so, yeah, the solar plexus being the emotional center, uh,
Mhm.
it really is interesting to see the way that it's impacted and the way that we impact each other.
Oh, yeah. I think this is a huge benefit of studying and becoming aware of human design and the different aspects. Not only does it help me understand me, it helps me understand the other and gives me an ability to connect with the other in a way that creates this genuine and authentic connection. I get you need to do that because that's what you need to do. I understand that. I make space for that.
Yeah.
Julian said, I'm having too many revelations with this newfound information. Welcome
Wonderful.
aboard. This is great. That makes me happy. That makes me very, very happy. And then the touch tips,
Yes.
tricks.
Oh, and you'll notice this, Gerald, because you do it, but touching objects while you're thinking, right?
Shuffling.
Yeah, and you're periodically like picking stuff up and putting it down and all of that, and it's very much that using yeah.
It's not just a prop, people.
Yeah, using grounding practices, being able to, even just putting your hand on your heart, like that, just that touch piece of connecting within, and then feeling into a decision with your hands or with the
Mhm.
way that your body is positioned. Look, the camera or whatever likes that. And it's interesting because we've talked before, and you talk about, not necessarily being connected with the body as much. And yet with this feeling, you really do connect with it more maybe than you think you do, in the sense that you're
Mhm.
constantly in that tactile place
Yes.
of, wanting to feel things with the body. And then noticing your body's position,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Do I feel confident and comfortable? Do I feel
Yes.
like I need to,
Yeah.
burrow in? Do I feel, just noticing the way that the body is interacting with whatever is going on?
I will also say a good pair of shoes helps with that, with the body posture. If it's like, ooh, okay. So,
Yeah.
anyhow, but wow, Jennifer, this has been incredible. Thank you so much for being here and for continuing to be willing to share with us this beautiful information that you have. If all of Jennifer's links are below, if you want to reach out to her, please do so. This video is available as a podcast later. You can listen to it. You're probably going to need to watch or listen more than once because it's a lot of information. Where can people find you next, Jennifer?
Next is in 2 hours from now. I am going to be live with Tanis with Twillo Talk. We do a live at 5 every Monday Eastern time. And so if you do like and subscribe, you will get the notification that when we're on. And yeah, that's what's next.
Yes. And next Monday, they have a troublemaker on Twillo Talk Live. who is a regular guest on the second Monday of the month. And so, yes, go to Jennifer's about page, send an email, and connect. It's perfect. So,
Yeah. And again, it's Jennifer at myholisticself.com.
excellent. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And, if Cognition sparks something for you, please make sure you like, subscribe, and check out Jennifer at My Holistic Self. And keep listening to your super sense. Pay attention to that, because that's actually really cool. It's one of your superpowers. Bye, everyone.